Let's continue our series of geography, and here we are with this the Arctic and polar climate. Last chapter से start किए हैं, देखते हैं. This has been the last chapter. तो Arctic and polar climate का पहले description देखते हैं. So the polar type of climate and vegetation is found mainly north of Arctic Circle, north of the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere. कहाँ पे है? North of Arctic Circle. तो so ये है अपना Arctic Circle. ये जो सर्कल बना हुआ है, this is Arctic Circle. और ये क्रॉस हो रहा है आपको कनाडा, रसिया, यूएसए, यूएसए का अलास्का पार्ट, ग्रीनलैंड, डेनमार्क एंड आइसलैंड, नॉर्वे, स्वीडन, फिनलैंड. ये अपर रीजन है और ये हो गया आपका नॉर्थ पोल. ये है आर्टिक सर्कल, आर्टिक ओशन. यहाँ पे यहाँ से ग्रीनलैंड का डिस्टेंस कितना कम है, रसिया से यूएसए का डिस्टेंस काफी नजदीक है. बस ये लोग इधर का रूट यूज नहीं करते हैं. So the ice caps are confined to Greenland and to the highlands of these high latitude region, where the ground is permanently snow covered. The lowlands, with a few mountain ice free, have tundra. कौन सा vegetation है? Tundra vegetation. They include the coastal strip of Greenland, the barren grounds of northern Canada and Alaska, and the Arctic seaboard of Eurasia. So in the southern hemisphere, the virtually uninhabited continent of Antarctica is the greatest single stretch of ice cap where the layers of permanent ice are as thick as 10,000 feet. Now climate को देखते हैं. Temperature. The polar climate is characterized by a very low mean annual temperature, and its warmest month in June seldom rises to more than 50 Fahrenheit. So in mid-winter January temperature are as low as -35 Fahrenheit and much colder in the interior. Normally not more than 4 months have temperature above freezing point. Winters are long and very severe. Summers are cool and brief. Within the Arctic and Antarctic Circle, there are weeks of continuous darkness. So summers are cool and brief. Within the Arctic and Antarctic Circle, there are weeks of continuous darkness. At the North Pole, there are 6 months without light. North Pole matlab at the North Pole point, there are 6 months without light in winter. Despite the long duration of sunshine in the summer, when the sun does not set, temperature remains low because the sun is low in the sky and much of the warmth of its faint rays is either reflected by the ground snow और यूज्ड अप इन मेल्टिंग द आइस. ठीक है, तो यहाँ इतना ठंड है कि उसको जो एक तो एल्बिडो सबसे हाई है यहाँ पे, तो टेम्परेचर वो आ, रख नहीं पा रहा है, और नहीं तो आपका आइस को ये पिघला रहा है, तो वहाँ पे गर्म है नहीं थोड़ा भी. So it has little power left to raise the air temperature. So water in the soil is frozen to great depths. अगर ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछा जाए क्यों नहीं हो रहा है despite being sun there for 6 months, तो reason is because due to the first reason is due to albedo, and second is uh, most of the warmth is much of the warmth is its faint rays reflected back on the ground snow and used in melting, and second the rays or the warmth is used in melting the ice. ठीक है, तो ये दो रीजन की वजह से वार्म नहीं हो रहा है. ऐसा क्वेश्चन बनता है तो सो वाटर इन द सॉइल इज फ्रोजन टू ग्रेट डेप्थ्स एंड द समर हीट कैन ओनली थॉ द अपर 6 इंचेस ऑफ द सॉइल. अपर 6 इंचेस इतना ज्यादा मतलब ये सॉलिड हो चुका है ठंड से. So the ground remains solidly frozen for but 4 months, inaccessible to plants. Frost occur at any time, and blizzards reaching a velocity of 130 miles an hour are not infrequent. तो वो हमेशा चलते रहते हैं. They can be very hazardous for polar inhabitants in coastal districts where warmer water meets cold land. Thick fogs may develop. So they last for days, and in many instances, it is not possible to see the for more than few feet. प्रेसिपिटेशन पे आते हैं, बारिश का. तो प्रेसिपिटेशन इज मेनली इन द फॉर्म ऑफ स्नो. ठीक है, बारिश वहां नहीं हो रहा, वहां स्नो गिर रहा है. फॉलिंग इन द विंटर एंड बीइंग ड्रिफ्टेड अवे, ड्रिफ्टेड ड्यूरिंग blizzards. तो snowfall varies with locality. It may fall either as ice crystals or large amalgamated snowflakes, as it takes 10 to 12 inches of snow to make 1 inch of rain. 10 से 12 इंच of snow to make 1 inch of rain. Precipitation in polar region can be expected to be light, not more than 12 inches in a year. Conventional rainfall is generally absent because of low rate of evaporation and the lack of moisture in the cold polar air. So there is normally a summer maximum, and the precipitation is then in the form of rain or sleet. So in the region where winds blowing out from the large anticyclones develop over the ice caps are prevalent, rain comes in summer when more evaporation is possible, but in coastal areas where cyclones are more strongly felt, the tendency is towards a winter maximum. For that is when cyclonic activity is greatest. In such region, the annual rainfall of 10 to 12 inch for the tundra may be exceeded. Much heavier rainfall and has been recorded, especially in areas where the cyclones are most frequent. तो ये सब हो गया. So its winter temperature is -8 Fahrenheit, while its warmth month in July is only 41 Fahrenheit, giving an annual range of 49 Fahrenheit. Precipitation is low, only 9.1 inches, falling mainly in the second half of the year, both as rain and snow. Now tundra vegetation पे आते हैं. So in such an adverse environment as the tundra, few plants survive. The greatest inhibiting factor is the region's deficiency in heat. With a growing season of less than 3 months and the warmest month not exceeding 50 Fahrenheit, there are no trees in the tundra. Such as environment can support only the lowest form of vegetation, mosses, lichens, and sedges. Drainage in the tundra is usually poor as the subsoil is permanently frozen. Ponds and marshes and waterlogged areas are found in the hollow. In the more sheltered spots, stunted birches, dwarf willows, and undersized alders struggle for meager existence. Climatic conditions along the coastal lowlands are little more favorable. Here are found some hardy grasses and the reindeer mosses, which provide only pasturage for the herbivorous animal like reindeer. So, in a brief summer, when the snow melts and the days are warmer and longer, berry-bearing bushes and Arctic flowers bloom. The short-lived, they brighten the monotonous tundra landscape into Arctic prairies. This summer, the tundra is full of activities. Birds migrate north to prey on the numerous insects which emerge when the snow thaws. Mammals like the wolves, foxes, and musk ox, Arctic hare, and the lemming also live in tundra region. Human activities of the tundra are largely confined to the coast. Where plateaus and mountains increases the altitude, it is uninhabitable, for these are permanently snow covered. The few people who live in the tundra live in semi nomadic life and have to adapt themselves to the harsh environment. In Greenland, northern Canada, and Alaska live in Eskimos. क्या होता है? Eskimos. Numbering less than 28,000 today, they used to live as hunters, fishers, food gatherers, but in recent years, more and more of them are settling in permanent huts. The polar Eskimos living around the Thal in northwest Greenland still lead an uncertain life, not very much different from their forefather. The seasonal changes in the climate necessitates a nomadic way of life. During winter, they live in compact igloos, and in summer, when they move out to hunt, they pitch portable tents of skins by sides of streams. Their food is derived from fishes, seals, walruses, and polar bears. Other Eskimos hunt caribou, the name given to reindeer in America. Other animals to secure a steady supply of their daily meat, milk, fat, skins, and bones. In the last 50 years, through their contact with the Europeans, the way of life of Eskimos has undergone tremendous changes. Coastal villages have permanent wooden houses complete with modern facilities. Speedboats are replacing frail kayaks. Deadly rifles instead of traditional harpoons are used to track down animals and seals. Fur-bearing animals are being reared on a commercial scale, and fishing too is being commercialized. In some more accessible parts of Canada, Alaska, schools have been established and the Eskimo children are being taught the skills which will allow them to fit into the modern way of life. In the Eurasian tundra are other nomadic tribes such as Lapps of northern Finland and Scandinavia, the Samoyeds of Siberia from the Ural Mountains and the Inis Basin, the Yakuts from the Lena Basin, and the Koryaks and Chukchi of the northeastern Asia. So they wander with their herds of reindeer across the Eurasian tundra where they are pastured. Many of them have taken to a more settled life. In the USSR, large farms have been established for raising reindeer and for breeding fur-bearing animals. तो ये अब USSR हो चुका है disintegrate. The importance and recent development of Arctic region पे आते हैं. So the Arctic region So the Arctic region, once regarded as completely useless, is now of some economic importance. Yes, apart from the efforts of the various government in assisting the advancement of Arctic inhabitants, the Eskimos, Lapps, Shamiodas, etc., new settlements have sprung up because of the discovery of minerals. Now, gold is mined in Alaska, nickel near Petsamo, USSR, so petroleum in Kenai Peninsula, Alaska, Kenai Peninsula. So this is Kenai Peninsula, and here is Alaska. Nice. Alaska and copper at Rankin Inlet, Canada. Coal has been mined in Spitsbergen for a long time and also in Alaska. So, with the declining reserves of iron ore around Lake Superior, the Great Lakes industrial concern are using more and more iron from large iron ore deposit in Labrador. New railway lines have been constructed to bring the ores of the Lawrence River from subsequent shipment to the major industrial district. Rich deposit of iron ores at Kiruna and Gallivere in Sweden have made it possible for Sweden to enjoy a prosperous export trade in iron and steel, another metallurgical product. With the establishment of ports on the Arctic seaboard of Eurasia, it is now possible to ship timber and fur from Siberia. Though the ports such as Ikarka at mouth of Yenisei are not ice-free, modern icebreakers keep the passage open most of the time. On the Arctic lowlands, where the growing season is endangered by warm current or higher temperature, experiments have been carried out to devise varieties of hardy cereals for local needs. It may not be long before the tundra is brought under greater agriculture, especially for pastoral use. The healthy air and its preservative qualities, it is practically germ-free, are factors worth consideration for future colonization. Scientists, meteorologists, and explorers have lived in the Arctic and Antarctica, making studies of their geology, weather conditions, plant and animal life that will be of great significance in years to come. So we are done with this chapter जो कि हमारा आर्कटिक क्लाइमेट